Are you even serious about beating anxiety? Have you done the reading to fully understand it? Have you learnt the techniques to manage it? Are you diligently applying everything you know on a regular basis? Okay, that might actually be the problem. In this video, I'm going to explain why your best efforts to beat anxiety are actually what perpetuates it. What if I told you that the biggest obstacle to beating anxiety is how serious you're being about it? And that probably sounds a bit strange, I'll grant you that, but I've been working with anxiety clients for nearly 15 years now, helping them overcome their issues and get back in control. And I've noticed something. I found that the more seriously we treat anxiety as a problem to fix, the longer it tends to hang around. In this video, I'm going to explain why doing less might actually be the most effective approach of all. One of the biggest ironies I've discovered in my time working with people is that the ones who struggle most to overcome anxiety are often the people who've been taking it most seriously. Now, don't get me wrong, being proactive about your well-being is an admirable trait and is to be encouraged. But when it comes to anxiety, that same drive to fix things can actually be the very thing keeping us stuck. You see, the sort of person who comes to see me is very often quite a high achiever. They're someone who's used to identifying a problem, researching it, learning what needs to be done, and then taking the necessary action. And that approach has probably worked brilliantly when it comes to external challenges, career, fitness, relationships, pretty much all the major areas in our life. But with anxiety, it's a completely different story. It's not uncommon for clients to tell me that they've come to see me because this seems to be the only problem they can't just solve themselves. Because here's the thing, anxiety isn't an external problem to be solved. It's an internal signal, a response your mind creates when it wants you to focus on something important. That's the function of anxiety, to point us towards whatever requires our focus right now. So when we make the anxiety itself the thing we're trying to fix, our mind gets the message that anxiety is now important, maybe even dangerous. And what does your mind do with important, possibly dangerous things? It creates more anxiety to make sure you don't ignore it. And this is where so many people fall into the anxiety feedback loop. They feel anxious, so they decide they need to beat anxiety. They start analysing every thought and sensation, and that very focus on the problem becomes fuel for more anxiety. It's like becoming aware of a fire in the room and naturally thinking you desperately need to put the fire out. And yet you're not throwing water onto it, you're throwing petrol. It's your attention to it that feeds the flames. But the thing we fail to appreciate is that this isn't a raging, untamed fire. It's a fireplace. It's meant to be there. It's not burning the house down. It's just doing its job of warming the room up. But the mistaken thought that it's dangerous is what has us trying to do something about it, when in reality, doing nothing is the solution. Because anxiety isn't a threat. It's not something to fix. It's not an intruder that's invaded your mind. It's a normal, healthy, human emotion that comes and goes as needed. The only thing that makes it stick around is the petrol we keep throwing onto it, which in this analogy represents those thoughts that anxiety is in some way something that needs managing, tracking, or eliminating. So what should you actually do about anxiety? Well, nothing. That's the whole point. You stop trying to fix it. You stop treating it like a problem that needs solving. You stop waiting for the day it disappears so you can finally get on with your life. The fact is, the way you're currently testing to see if you're anxious probably involves some degree of physical check. You're looking for signs of it in your body. But of course, all you do then is reinforce the idea that anxiety is a physical health problem, just amplifying how anxious you feel about it. Any physical sensations you feel aren't actually anxiety. They're the stress response. They're your body having a perfectly healthy reaction to perceived threat. Simply put, it's fear. And why are you afraid? Because you've started to regard anxiety as a threat to your health and your happiness. But of course, anxiety can't harm or kill you, and it can't interrupt your happiness unless you deliberately redirect your attention to focus on it. Put simply, anxiety is a problem because you've started taking it too seriously. But the moment you stop seeing anxiety as something serious and start treating it like what it really is, just a feeling that's allowed to exist, you take away any power that feeling has over you. And when it's no longer something you're fighting or fearing, it naturally starts to calm down on its own. But don't think, great, if I adopt this attitude, that's how I beat anxiety, because that's just once again creating the idea that beating anxiety is important. It's once again treating it as deadly serious. You can safely adopt the attitude that anxiety isn't worth your attention, because it simply isn't. This isn't a positive delusion, it's the truth that thus far you've unfortunately failed to realize. So maybe it's time to stop being so serious about anxiety. Don't make it a project, don't make it a lifelong battle. Just let it be what it is. Because when you stop trying to beat anxiety, that's usually when you've already won. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more weekly content. And why not check out another one of my videos like this one here, which will provide you with more invaluable information about how we get the other side of our anxiety issues. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim Box. Always remember, be kind to your mind, and I'll see you next time.